I'm not really talking to you, I'm talking to the kids. So
I just flew in from the North Pole. I have to tell you, it's super busy up there this time of year. I don't suppose you know why. Is it?
I know why, but do you think they know why?
Should we ask them?
Yeah, do you guys know why it's super busy up there? You don't know?
Santa's getting ready for Christmas.
It is.
Exactly.
Santa is getting ready for Christmas. So it was super cold up there when we left this morning. I don't know, some degrees below zero. But anyways, I brought my muffs and my gloves, but I'm going to get rid of some of this. And it's really hot in here. You guys got it nice down here in Wisconsin. I really love it down here. I love the Packers too. So we're going to show you Bungles. Y'all met Bungles, right? Isn't she awesome? I love her outfit. Go ahead and give her a hand. She's so a big help to me. And this is my muff. I love my little muff here. So, alrighty. So the purpose of today is to show you all how to, when Christmas is coming and you just get over with Thanksgiving and you get all kinds of people coming to your house for all kinds of reasons, you gotta feed them, right? Does anybody feed guests ever? You do? I know you do. Because you go somewhere, you get hungry, don't you? Especially the little kids, right? So we're gonna figure out how to get some stuff going that is only a couple of ingredients and everybody can do it. So you don't have to worry about, I don't know how to cook. And Mrs. Claus does it so easy. Just squeezy lemon, squeezy mac and cheesy, right? So anyways, we're gonna get some good stuff going here. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make some little cocktail smokies. Has anybody ever had those before? You all have had those before and some of you have not. Well, there's a couple of different ways that you can make them. And the way that I make them for my little house up at the North Pole, and Bungles is a really big fan of the little smokies. But we're going to take and put them in our crock pot. We're going to get going on these first. So we're going to turn this thing on. And who has made these before at home? Anybody? What did you put in yours? There's a couple of different ways that you can make them. The way that we're going to make them today is I'm going to use, this is called chili sauce. You can get this pretty much at any of the grocery stores. And then also the other ingredient is the jellied cranberry sauce. So we're going to put both of these in this big crock pot over here, and then we're going to add all of our little smokies. And from there, it's going to be delicious. The cranberry sauce melts and gets all kind of tangy flavor. The chili sauce adds a little bit of, I don't know, what would you say, a little pop to that.
Yes.
So it gets really nice and good. So I'm going to open up the cranberry sauce first. And Bungles. Love Bungles. Can you open up that and get it going right here, right in here?
She thinks I'm strong.
Looks can be deceiving. As you all might know. There she goes, there she goes.
All right, you want me to put it in?
I do.
All right.
I do. So, what do you guys think? Oh, look at that. That stuff is kind of chunky too. So, I know it's really super heavy. So we're just going to open up this can, put this jelly cranberry sauce right in there. And then, anybody know the trick? No? Do a little squeeze. A little squeeze. A little shake. Oh, easy does it. So then, what I usually do is I take a wire whisk, and then we're just going to go in here, and we're going to kind of chop that up a little bit. Bungles, if you would be so kind.
I would be so kind.
Just give it a couple of whisks around there.
I can do that.
So like that's 2 ingredients, and it's good enough like that. However, the other ways that I have seen this done is you can put these 2 ingredients and add a little bit something to kind of sweeten it up a little bit and tarten it up a little bit. You can put in like 2 tablespoons of brown sugar and a tablespoon of lemon juice. Now that gives, like I said, a little bit more tartness, but also a little more sweetness. So it's kind of a sweet and sour thing.
can I interrupt you, Mrs. Claus?
Absolutely.
We have some new friends that came in. You can grab some of those chairs that are back by the tables and pull them up so that you can sit down. You don't have to stand up.
Absolutely. We don't want anybody to be uncomfortable because what is this? Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? So if you were doing the lemon juice, you would just get a couple squeezes for half a lemon, put it in there, or you can get those little, they look like a lemon and they're made out of plastic. They have lemon juice in them. So we're going to get that going. I'm going to have these, and these are the Hillshire Farm brand. I brought enough so that everybody is going to be able to have some little samples of this. So let's get these open, put in there so we can get something on these. The other way that you can do for these little smokies is you can also put in barbecue sauce. You can do just barbecue sauce. I have my own favorite brand that I like to use at home, but that's another way that you can do that. Is there anybody else that has had any other types of sauce for their little smokies? Anybody?
Barbecue. Barbecue. That's a pretty easy one too. That's what I do.
She's always looking. Don't tell her. But again, these are all just really easy so that anybody can do that. Even if you have, how old are you, young man?
13.
This 13-year-old young man here, do you cook at home? Be honest. Sometimes you cook, but you could do this, couldn't you?
Yeah.
You could, I know. It's so easy. And who's that cute little girl sitting next to you? What's your name, honey? Whitney. Do you cook at home, dear?
I like to help.
You do? But you could even do this. Isn't that the best part about all of that? So we're going to put these in there. And Bungles is going to stir that up a little bit more. And then we're going to get the other package in there. There they go. And then at the end of it all, those will be hot enough, I'm sure, by the time we get done cooking all our other stuff. So, let's see. What about you, right up here with the reindeer ears on? Or, I'm sorry, antlers. Reindeer antlers. You know what?
I won't tell Rudolph.
And Santa would be...
Really, just I won't tell.
He'd be able to just probably get one lump of coal in my stocking this year. You know that, don't you? So how about you? Could you think that you could do this?
Barbecue.
You would put barbecue sauce in. I say that's even easier than the two ingredients. You take one ingredient, right, and it's good for everybody. And who doesn't like barbecue sauce? Am I right? So yes, that's what we would do if we didn't want to do these. And what if you didn't have these around the house? Everybody's got barbecue sauce. You can do that. So we're going to get that other one in there, and I think you want to double check the temperature and make sure.
I did already, Mrs. Claus. Yes, it is.
Very nice. Very nice. So. That's going to continue to heat up while we're talking. We're going to go through a couple of other things just to make sure that you've got some food to feed your family and your friends when they come over for Christmas. First of all, y'all have seen my husband, right, Mr. Claus?
Did you get to see Mr. Claus, Santa Claus earlier? Yeah. Did you get your picture with him?
No. You did? You know, Santa makes a record of that in about 35 years from now. Just when you're a mom, and he's going to come up to you and he's going to show that picture to your kids and he's going to say, look at what your mom did. In fact, I met a lady a couple of weeks ago and she was over at JPAC and Santa Claus, my husband, came up to her and he said, I know you. I've been looking for you. And that was just so funny. That made her day. She was so happy that he remembered her. And she was like, I don't know, 70-some years old.
Wow.
So
He's got a good memory.
He remembers everybody and everything. So don't think that he doesn't know if you're not really a cook, because he knows. He knows, but that's okay. He's pretty good about it anyway, isn't he?
He is.
All right, and Bungles here. Bungles and Santa Claus go way, way, way back in time, don't you?
Don't let them know how old I am.
Little ways back in time. So Bungles has been around with Santa for, I don't know, a couple minutes, a couple weeks, couple months.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's a very good friend of the whole Claus. So, alrighty. Who is interested in some sweet kind of a dippy kind of thing? Anybody? Alright. Well, we've got a road treat for you today because I have a recipe for pumpkin dip. So this is the time of year you're getting over with Halloween and Thanksgiving, so everybody's got a little extra pumpkin around the house, am I correct? So what you're going to do is, if you've got one of these, or you can make your own pumpkin, but I have a 15-ounce can of pumpkin right here, and we're going to put that in a bowl, and we're going to mix it up with, it calls, the recipe that I had originally had calls for pumpkin pie spice, although I usually make my own pumpkin pie spice, and that is going to be with cinnamon and ground ginger and some ground cloves.
No, I don't like nutmeg, Mrs. Claus, so it's good that you don't have nutmeg.
Awesome.
Some people love nutmeg, but I don't.
Does anybody ever have any eggnog? Do you ever put any extra little nutmeg in your eggnog? Anybody? Some people do. Some people really enjoy it. I'm with Bungles. I'm not a big fan of the nutmeg. So, alrighty. So I'm going to use a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. And we're going to put it in this bowl. We're also going to put it in with the pumpkin over here. And then a secret couple of ingredients. And you guys are going to love this. In fact, some of the little elves that are around at the North Pole, like the children of the big elves, I know that's an oxymoron, isn't it? Because the little elves are little. All right, so they love it. They have this pumpkin dip. We serve it with a couple of different things, and you could go even more on this. We have vanilla wafers, and we also have some ginger snaps. Either one of those are excellent with this pumpkin dip that I'm about to make, but certainly you could go with some other kinds of things too. What we were talking about just the other day up at the North Pole, Bungles and I said that this dip is good enough that you could even take like a pumpkin muffin and spread this dip kind of like just like a spread over the top of it. Delish.
Or a pumpkin bagel?
Or a pumpkin bagel. Has anybody ever had a pumpkin bagel? So Bungles has, and they're really good. I've had pumpkin muffins, and this dip is going to be something that you're going to really enjoy over the top of that. So I've already got a half a teaspoon of cinnamon in there. I'm going to use a quarter of a teaspoon of the ground ginger. And I'm also going to put some ground cloves in there. Not too much of the cloves, maybe an eighth of a teaspoon of that. Otherwise, like I said, you can use the pumpkin pie spice, and they sell it all ready mixed together in the store, so that's always a good thing too. All right, so I'm actually going to put this in here because I need the whisk in order to mix this up with the.
Is that your cleaning container?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to go wash this.
We're all good. So here I'm going to open up the can of this, and then typically at the North Pole, we have people that actually make pudding from scratch, but for this recipe purpose, we're going to use the instant vanilla pudding. And this is just a small box of the Jello brand instant pudding, and it's 3.4 ounces. So once I get the pumpkin in there, I'm going to open up that packet of the Jello pudding, and we're going to be putting that in there too. And we're going to whisk them all together so that we can get a little bit of a base going. The other ingredient in this, whipped cream. Who likes whipped cream? Oh, a couple people. That's good. All right. So I'm going to have you open that up there too. Thank you. So, does anybody have any questions so far about anything? No? I will have at the end of the table, and Bungles will be handing them out at the end. This is the recipe over here for what I'm making now with pumpkin dip. But again, super easy, super quick, super good. Does that look like baby food? Has anybody ever been a baby? Oh wait. That was a trick question. Has anybody ever had baby food? What's your name then? You know what? I think I recognize you because I think Santa Claus had you on his especially good list last year. Is your name Mia? That is so awesome. Did everybody say hi to Mia? It's okay. Santa Claus told me he's going to bring you extra goodies this year, just because I made you blush. All right. So there's that. I've got that in there along with my spices. I'm going to mix that up just a little bit. And then, what did I say? Who's got what I said I was going to enter or put in there next? Who remembers? What about this young man right back here?
Yellow.
The yellow pudding mix. Yes, sir. Wow. Is that kid smart or what?
He is pretty smart. He's paying attention.
He is. I know. I love that. What's your name? He's got to ask his mom.
My name's John.
Hi. How are you?
Good.
And so Santa Claus remembers you from last year too. He told me that you were on his, oh yes, it was his excellent business. Is that correct?
I believe. I don't know. I don't even check his list.
You know what? He keeps that list very close to his chest, so like not everybody can see it. Although once in a while I get a good look.
You kind of sneak up on him.
I do.
On his son, and then take a look at it. See if it's naughty or nice.
I kind of do. Just because I have my idea that pretty much everybody is going to be on the good list, but once in a while you get that one kid. No, not that kid. There's one kid always ends up on the naughty list. And usually it's to no fault of their own, honestly. So, all right, so we're going to open this up and empty this in the bowl here. Did it change much color?
No.
Not really. Because there's really not that much stuff in there just yet. But wait till you see what happens now. You want to just unveil. Look at that.
Da-da-da-da.
Look at that.
I think there was some loose in there. I think
Oh, no. Fumbles, are you okay with it?
yeah, it's just a little, okay.
Puffing out smoke right
Yeah.
now as we speak. So I don't think it's too much there.
No, I think it's okay. I already kind of sparkle, so I guess it's okay.
It is okay. Who doesn't like a little bling, right? I know I do. What about this young lady? Do you like bling? What's your name? What is it? Jenna. Jenna. Hi, Jenna. Everybody say hi to Jenna.
Hi, Jenna.
All right. Are you on the naughty list? Because I thought I saw your... What's this? All right, so here's where I switch tools. Get rid of this one right here. I'm going to set that right there. What is this? Anybody know?
Whisk.
That's a whisk. I love this kit.
I know. I'm thinking that there's a lot more cooking going on than what's being told to us.
Do you spend a lot of time in the kitchen?
Yes, a lot of the time. In fact, I got my very own Dutch oven.
You do? Is this your mom right next to you?
Yes.
I love your mom.
I love my mom's grandma. She's the one that
Isn't
Oh,
that
very
awesome? I think everybody should have that in their kitchen for their kids. And how many of you kids, I see all kinds of kids way back there, and way back over here, and there's one off to the side over here, who, by a show of hands, who spends any amount of time in the kitchen helping mom, helping grandma cook?
All right. I love that.
Most of the kids in here do that. That is so awesome, because you know what I say? If you can't cook, then what can you do? Because everybody needs to feed themselves, correct? Do you like eating? You like eating? Do you like eating? Don't you need to eat too?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, who cooks the food?
You.
Somebody who knows how to cook, right? Well, what if you're there all by yourself? It's been a long day. You come home from working in the health shop. Who's going to cook for you? You cook for yourself? Well, that is awesome. So you got to learn how to turn on the oven, right? You got to learn how to use a whisk, right? Who knows how to crack an egg? Are you kidding? Do you know how to crack an egg too? How old are you, young lady? Did you just have a birthday? I knew that. Santa's got his eyeballs on you too. So yes, you gotta learn how to crack eggs, you gotta learn how to use a whisk, you gotta learn how to use a mixer, and an oven, and a stove,
And how to measure.
What are these called? Does anybody know what these are called?
Measuring spoons.
Measuring spoons, right. And if they were bigger, like to pour stuff out of, they'd be measuring
They're cups.
cups.
They're cups.
Yeah.
I cannot believe how smart
These guys are really smart.
You know, I was down in Illinois a couple weeks ago doing the same kind of thing, and I think those people down there are bear fans. Just saying, a couple of them didn't really know. But y'all must be Packer fans. I'm going to leave a napkin right down here. I got some pumpkin on my hands. All right. So the next thing we're going to do, now I have this pretty much all whipped together. There's the spices are in there, and the Jello pudding mix is in there. I mixed them all up so that you don't see any of that white powder from the Jello mix. And the next thing that I'm going to put in,
Whipped cream.
whipped cream, exactly. You know your stuff, don't you? So we're going to put this in there. We're going to kind of just spoon it around in there, mix it up a little bit, and then guess what else is left? Nothing but the tasting.
I was about to say the eating.
Exactly.
I was going to say the eating, yep.
Exactly, the tasting, the eating, the good stuff. So we're going to put that in there. So who remembers the ingredients? I'm going to say spices is one. What's the other two ingredients? Anybody?
There's somebody back over there.
Back in the corner.
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin. And what's the other ingredient?
Cinnamon.
Yep, that's part of the spices. We got the cinnamon and like sometimes nutmeg, ginger. And what's the other one?
Jello.
Jello pudding. Again, what a smart group you guys are.
I just have to say, Mrs. Claus, I am really impressed with this group because have you noticed it's all the kids answering?
Well, you know what?
None of the grown-ups are answering. So I'm starting to think maybe the kids are the ones doing the cooking at
You
home.
guys all cooks for your parents at home? Mia, do you cook for your mom and your dad?
She does. See, I told you. I knew it.
I knew it. And what about you? Do you cook for all of your family?
Me too.
And you do too? Mom! Moms and dads, you guys got it easy. Your kids do all of the cooking and all of their own cleanup, right? And then you've already taught them how to do laundry and dishwashing. Is that right?
I want to know.
See, I knew they were so smart.
Yep, they are very smart.
They are so smart.
See, and I don't have to do any of that stuff.
Who does?
I do everything. I do my own cooking and cleaning and dishes and.
See, that's why we have her up at the North Pole, is because, and everybody that looks like her and dresses like her does all that stuff too. So I have to tell you, they're a wonderful help to me this time of year, because when some of the elves and their families come over for, you know, a big dinner, like Christmas Eve, because we gotta get everybody all set and go, ready to go out on Christmas Eve. When everybody comes over to the Clauses, guess who helps me prepare all their food? Bungle and her friends and her relatives and all the people that look like her. Except for, I have to tell you, it's a little hard to tell them apart because they all dress the same.
Actually, that works really well for me because then I can play tricks and nobody knows who it is.
So that's why I always wondered. So bundles, I'm going to have you, if you would be so kind, as to go ahead and mix this up. See, we've got the ingredients all in there, and it's just a matter of getting them all incorporated to each other, all mixed up, so that it's all one nice uniform little color here. So I'm going to have you mix that up. I'm going to get another napkin for my hands, and then we're going to move on to the last part of this little presentation here, because everybody needs something to drink with their food, right? I think so. I wouldn't want to have anybody come over to my house and, like, you know, eat some crackers and some cookies and some other things, and then I wish there was something this hostess would give me. I am the hostess with the mostess, so I got to make sure y'all get something to drink. So we're going to do some punch. I know it's not soda, and I know that it's not like I don't know. What else do you like to do? Kool-Aid, that type of thing.
Lemonade.
Lemonade. Now, I do like lemonade. But as far as the rest of this goes, we're going to do some nice punch here. So, you can go and find a recipe for about 7 Bungles! Get back here! She walked out the door and she was about ready to just take a little sample of
No, I just had to check on something out there.
Okay, you better come on back up here because these little children are looking to you to be a good example.
Oh, I was just gonna, I thought I saw someone out there who needed help.
Well, see, no, isn't that's what I thought. She's out there trying to help people. Thank you, Bungle.
And I just forgot to put the bowl down.
We're going to let that go. Although, you know, Santa knows if you've been naughty and nice. And
Oh, he knows everything.
he does know everything.
You
So.
do Mrs. Claus.
What's that?
You do also.
You know everything also.
Do it. Okay. So, we're going to go through super duper easy. Who knows what this is? Can you read? Who reads?
Cranberry.
This is apple cranberry juice. What is this?
The exact same play.
See, you guys are so smart. I knew it. Who knows what this is?
7-Up.
So I said about the soda, right? But this is a little bit different because this is mixed with actual fruit juice type stuff. And the only reason I'm putting soda in this punch is to give it that little bubbly, effervescent kind of a taste. So, again, you can go online and you can look in your cookbooks at home and you can probably find 5 or 6 recipes for about 10 things to put in your punch. We're all about the easy because, as you know, Bungles is one of, how many are there?
I lost count a long time ago. I can barely keep track of myself.
So there's lots of just like hers
Yes.
in the North Pole. So when they come over, do you think that I really, as Mrs. Claus, being a very VIP, not as big or important as the big guy, but do you think that I want to spend more than a couple minutes putting something together? Can I just say no? I don't want to do that. I want it to be easy, peasy, lemon squeezy. Right. So here's what I do. I buy a couple of different things of juice, and you can do any kind of juice that you want to. It's all a preference, what your own personal preference is. This time of year, I like to use something with a red tint. The other thing is a green tint, but people don't always like to go green punch. Do you know what I mean? So anyways, you do make it yellow, but I use the cranberry juice. Cranberry juice cocktail or an apple cranberry juice, or is there a strong kid in here? I want this one back here, and I want this one right here, and then there's another boy right up here. Come on up here, little boy. Come on. Oh, you're a big boy. Come on. Come on up, fellas. I need you to open these. Are you good at opening? Righty tighty, lefty loosey. There goes the soda. There goes one of the, I know, that's what I said. That's why I need some big, strong boys up here.
You're getting it. I can see it moving.
Somebody put that on extra tight.
I think so.
I think they glued it.
Glued it. Oh my goodness. Is there a girl that can help me out? What about you right here? Are you strong?
Mom. That's good.
So
Mom.
mom,
She's a girl.
I know the mom is going to be able to open it. Look at
You
that.
got it.
Let's give her a hand. And thank you boys, all 3 of these boys, thank you boys for helping us out. Look at that. It is blue. Did you see that? Oh my
Still on
goodness.
there.
Oh goodness. So, what do you think I do to mix these up? What do you think I do?
I don't know, Mrs. Claus.
Thank you. She keeps me in check. I pour. Watch. I know it's magical. Watch.
I will.
Bungles is going to do the 3rd one over here. Watch. Watch and be amazed. Ready? Set. Go!
Ooh, it even sounds fun.
Sounds. So like like I said, you can use any kind of juice that you want to. I like to use the cranberries this time of year just because it's a lot more festive.
And it smells delicious.
It does.
What I brought the big punch bowl, Mrs. Claus.
That was just like the one I had at the North Pole.
I'm glad I brought the big one.
I'm so glad you did too. So, wow. Look at that. Is there anything else that I think I need to do to that? What?
Blow it down.
Do what?
Cool it down.
Well, how am I going to do that? What? Oh, this is cold. Ooh. What is that?
Ice cream.
What is it? Sugar. Can I just ask, we were talking about this earlier.
Sorbet.
Yeah. What else? Sherbet, sherbet, sherbet.
Sherbet.
Sure, why not? So let's put some sherbet that day. I have a, see, she keeps me on track. So this is
An ice
that
cream
old stuff.
scooper.
What's that?
An ice cream scooper.
It is an ice cream scooper. Now don't hold it up here and go like that because that must go. Big mess. Bungles doesn't really like to clean up my messes. She will, but she's like the rest of us. You know what? Try not to make mess. So how much should we put in here?
The whole thing.
Who said that?
Why not?
I love this lady.
The whole thing.
Well, what else am I going to use it for if I don't put it all in the punch? Is that correct?
You can eat it out of the container.
You give it to the reindeer.
I could give it to the reindeer.
Or Santa.
Or Santa. Santa doesn't need any because he's getting lots of cookies on Christmas Eve. In fact, maybe some of you, not everybody, some of you could like do like a low fat kind of a cookie for him. Is that okay? Yes.
What are his favorite kind of cookies?
You know what? I'm going to defer to Bungles for that. What are his favorite kinds? Because these
You
days,
know-
that's on their test. In order to still be an elf all year long, they have to take the test. This is on the test.
And you know, he actually really likes just about any kind, but his favorites are the sugar cookies, the cutout cookies that you guys make and decorate. Those are his favorites. Well, you can eat some too. I hope you eat some too.
I have a baby cousin right here.
You do? What's your baby cousin's name?
A real cheese stew. And that's my mom.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. I love your outfit. I'm a little prejudiced though. It's so cute. I love to ride in the
I don't know if
I
you'll be
have
around
I
tonight.
have two cousins and their name is Claire. Grown up like that.
Oh my goodness. So Claire is the
And this
other
is Zach
cousin.
right here. Zach is right here.
Hi, Zach.
He's got buddy.
He's my buddy too. Zach. How you doing, bud? All right. So, I know you guys can't really see it, and I'd love to tip it out so you could see it. But right now, all of this sherbet,
I bet we get to have a taste of everything the mom
you
says.
do. But it's all kind of just sitting there, starting to like melt up a little bit. And as soon as I put it in, like a little bit of the fizz from that soda starts to, oh my goodness. And it kind of, these little thingies over here are smelling real good. So I hope y'all are getting hungry. Are y'all getting hungry?
Yes.
And thirsty? Thirsty? Yes, because I've got food and drink.
Well, what was that?
What's that?
The camera, sorry. Laugh from the camera.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to get these myself. So, all right. But anyways, this sherbet inside of the punch bowl does two things. First one is, gets it,
It gives it some cool.
it makes it cold. Because they were just sitting out. Normally I keep them in the refrigerator, but today I was like, you know what? Caution to the wind. So we had some warm stuff, and so this is melting in there very nicely. The other thing is when you've got people coming over for an all-day kind of a thing, or an open house, or you know you're going to have guests for many hours, this is a very nice option because you can put the sherbet in there, or another thing I'm going to tell you about too, but it keeps it cold for a while. So then later on, you're pouring more in there to just make some more punch. And how many ingredients did we put in there? Two. I put 7-Up and I put juice in there, right? So easy. So the other thing that you can do is, who knows what a bundt cake pan is? Okay, some of the adults or the bigger kids know what that is. It's one of those cake pans that's round and it's got a hole. It's like a giant donut. Love donuts. It's like a giant donut. So what you can do is you can take some of your juice, your cranberry juice. I wouldn't use the pop, but I'd use any of your juices that you're going to use. Put that in the bottom of a bundt cake pan and put that in the freezer. That gets frozen solid, and then just before you serve it, you can put it in your punch bowl. It does two things. It keeps it cold, and it's very visually pleasing, too. The other thing
those are big words.
I know. But you know what?
Yes.
These kids in here have already proven to me that they are so smart. So I could use probably bigger words.
They are pretty smart. You're right.
They probably know what I was talking about. The other thing you can do with that juice, rather than putting it in a big bundt cake pan, you can put it in your ice cube tray. How cool is that? Instead of water in your ice cube tray, you put the juice in your ice cube tray, and then you dump the whole tray in here, frozen, and that'll keep it cool too. The other thing that I like to do is put fresh fruit in there. Now I made this a couple of weeks ago for some relatives of Bungles, and she said, hey, what else you got to go in the punch bowl? And I said, you know what? I got something. I took an orange and I sliced it very thinly, and I layered orange slices all across the top. I also took another orange and kind of just squeezed in there. It was so good, wasn't it?
It was. It was very delicious. Very refreshing.
It was very refreshing. It's a lighter kind of a thing, but also if somebody actually got hungry and they were waiting for the food to get hot or cool or whatever, then they can eat the orange slices. You can also put, because this is a cranberry-based punch, actual, real live cranberries. So, there you have it. Who has any other questions for me? You.
How come we couldn't cook?
I'm sorry?
How come we didn't cook?
We didn't cook anything today? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. How come that us kids didn't get to cook?
Oh.
You know, we would have to have a longer program to do that, but that might be something that maybe the library can do in the future.
There's a guy who looks like Santa Claus that is the director of this library. I met him a couple weeks ago. Anyways, we'll have to ask him the next time. If he has me come back next year, we'll get some assembly line stuff going on, and then we can have all of you kids come up and take a little hand and make Santa Claus something. Wouldn't that be a good idea? Yes, or no?
How old is Santa Claus?
That's on her test too. Bundles, we're not allowed to actually give out that information, but is there any kind of teaser that you can tell them?
He's older than you can imagine.
That's a very good one. That's very good.
I'm trying to not get in trouble for not.
I know. I can tell you this. Do you have a grandparent?
Yeah.
Grandma, grandpa? Okay.
Older than that.
Older than that. And Santa Claus was around when your grandpa's grandpa was being naughty. Oh, wait.
Or good. Being
the law.
good. Being good.
He was being good. He was being good. But he's been around longer than that. So, with that, I'm going to put, this is our, who remembers what the name of this? Star Student? Yes.
Pumpkin mix.
Pumpkin dip. Pumpkin dip. We're going to put the pumpkin dip up here. We've got some ginger snaps over on this side, some vanilla wafers over on this side. And over here, we've got some little plates at the bottom, at the end over here. And where is our toothpicks?
They're right there.
Toothpicks? She keeps me in line. So you don't really need any forks or knives or anything, but you've got these little toothpicks that are going to be laying out here, and you can put a couple on your plate. When you put your little cocktail smokies on there, you can use your toothpicks to pick those up with.
And I'll put the dip recipe over by the dip. And I just want to remind you, even though we didn't get to cook today, there are other events going on today for Jolly Jingle. So at 3 o'clock at the Senior Center, right down just a block and a half away, they're going to have cookie decorating and all kinds of other fun activities for kids. So you can go there, and then that's not really cooking, but something. So there are other activities going on all weekend. So if you don't have one of these brochures, make sure that you get one at the children's desk before you leave, okay?
All right. So with that, grab a plate and a napkin, grab something to eat, something to drink. Enjoy the rest of your time and the rest of your weekend. And as always, be good. You never know who's watching you. Thanks everybody for coming. Bundle. Thanks.
Another program at 2, so we'll have to be done at 2 so they can come in. Yes, sir? No, you may not use the tables because they're set up for the next program.
So just place your chairs and enjoy mine. Two goodness girls right here.
Alright, I'm going to trade places. I'm going to scoot this up. We got to stay in this room, okay? Welcome here, and I'll hold it because it's easier to do it that way.
Thank you.
They are good, so then you should enjoy them. You don't like them? So many things.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thanks for answering questions.
I don't want to put that in somebody's cup because then you go to take a drink and I did it before and it goes right in your face. Not good.
We'll get there. I just want to make sure Mom has a party. Isn't that song really pretty? Makes it feel kind of all festive.
Do you have the recipe for the wieners?
No, I can certainly write that down for you. Hello, how are you? Well, basically the two ingredients: cranberry jelly, cranberry sauce, and
Absolutely, you can.
that's my favorite. I saw your name. Are you hungry?
And let me just tell you, we are
So there's so many good things
that we didn't know there were going to be so many young.
My name on the good list?
I think, is your name Jerry?
Yes.
I saw it.
You know what I would get from
And your name is Jenna?
Yep, well you are pretty smart because you knew a lot of the answers. Oh, you got one.
He is at the top of the
I think he must be. I
Yes.
That is weird. I never closed.
You might already know that, but I don't want to spoil the surprise. It's exciting. Very exciting. You're going to want to grab a toothpick. So you have one ready. And then if you take a spoon like that, that'll be really helpful. Very nice.
yeah, it's a little too many. How about 2 or 3?
Perfect. Those are so good.
There you go. Whoa. It's not supper. 3, please.
I like your cooking.
Thank you.
Okay, no, I didn't give you that.
And I love that your mom's teaching you all of it. Cooking too.
fact, I'm technically always cooking for her.
Yeah, and your nose is growing. I love it.
You know, technically cooking on both ends. Even on architecture catering.
Wow. I bet you help shovel snow too, don't you?
Yeah, we're gonna get a
There's a bunch up there.
Do another one.